So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Mafia Live. I really hope everyone is having a wonderful January 2nd, 2025. Damn, I know that we already had this conversation yesterday, but it's still wild. So bear with me when I talk about what year it currently is for at least the next couple of weeks. Probably going to be slipping up a tad, but it is 2025. And that means one thing and one thing only, that Week 18 is right around the corner. The NFL playoffs are right around the corner. There are going to be a lot of heartbroken fan bases this year, with the exception of one by the time that the Super Bowl is played in New Orleans. All right, a lot of our questions will be answered, and I cannot wait to unpack it with you guys. I want to thank each and every single one of you for your patience with me during the holiday season. I really wanted to just sort of take a step back, unplug a little bit leading up into the playoffs, spend some time with some family, spend some time with some friends, and I'm glad that you guys are still here rocking with me. I hope you had a great holiday season, but it is business as usual. I want to remind everybody, most important way to show support over here is quite simply just by hitting that thumbs up sign. Helps me out. It propels it out to the YouTube algorithm so more people can discover this channel, be a part of our live chat community. So simply just go on ahead, just hit that thumbs up sign for me and subscribe to the channel as well, folks, because we want 40,000 subscribers by the end of the football season. That is including by the end of the playoffs, including the Super Bowl. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's go ahead and get a roll call in the chat as well, folks. 129 of you in here already. We have 60 of you on X. We have 69 of you on YouTube. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. Go on ahead. Roll call in the chat and let me know where you are tuning in from. Really curious to see how far Bills Mafia always extends. All right, we have Happy New Year, Dan. Josh Allen, man. I appreciate you, brother. Added to liked videos. Thank you so much, Dan. I think we officially bought the officials from Kansas City. I love that. I'm glad that the referees are now in our corner. You know what I'm saying? Bob, thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. That right there is now a Buffalo Bills alternate jersey, and I'm completely fine with it for the love of God. JTL, go Bills from Massachusetts. Damn, we got some massholes in the chat, baby. I like that. DTN, what is going on, bro? Hope all is well. Dan, what's up? I've been not feeling well, but love the Bills and Ravens getting their playoff spots. Hip hop, what's going on, man? Hope all is well. Western North Carolina Mountains, man, I sincerely hope that you had a wonderful holiday season. I sincerely do. Citrus Springs, Florida, John Doe is in the chat. London, England, my guy Alexander. I have the photo of the season. Send it over to me on X, baby. New Orleans, Joe Weather. I'll tell you what, man, I really hope that the Buffalo Bills come to visit you here in February. Parrish, get back with me when you actually go to a Super Bowl yourself. I think that we have some people in here talking crap in the chat. I'll tell you what, it's funny because I feel like 70% of the chat is actually asking me questions, and then 25% just come in here just to argue amongst each other. I'm completely fine with it. That's what this community is all about. I'm surprised James Cook is not in the Pro Bowl. Well, I'll tell you what, man, fasten your seatbelts, because let's just say that I have a couple of snubs, and he may be on my list of snubs from the Buffalo Bills that I think probably should have been a bit closer. Refs will stay with Kansas City. We have Orchard Park. Keon Coleman is in the chat. Toronto, Sebastian, what is going on? We have Elmira. Michael Hall, is the ref dummy a punching bag? It absolutely is. You should watch my live game reactions. I beat the ever-living shit out of Bob each and every single time I watch the Buffalo Bills play. I beat the shit out of him when the Buffalo Bills do something that upset me. I beat the shit out of him when other teams do something that upset me. I beat the crap out of him when the refs do something that upset me. And I beat the ever-living hell out of him when I'm excited. Positive, negative, middle of the road. Bob is catching these hands literally every single day. No questions. Hawaii is in the chat. Craig, freezing in DFW, 32 overnight. Steelers to lose, so they fall to the 6th seed and play Baltimore. Here's the deal, which is interesting. It's kind of hard for me to pick the Bengals right now. It is. And I've said this a couple of times already, that I think the Bengals are our best matchup because they have one of the worst historical defenses in NFL history. I really, really do. But when it comes into the Steelers, do keep in mind that this team is on a 3-game losing streak. They are at home, and they're getting a lot of their defensive players back after an extended week of rest. So I wouldn't necessarily count that the Steelers team is going to lose against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals team has not beat a team over 500 all season. Okay, so do remember that. So there are a lot of narratives against the Cincinnati Bengals team. And I wouldn't go out, if you were a betting man, by no stretch of the imagination would I put a significant amount of money on the Bengals winning at this point, because it could honestly go either way at this point. Shakir is coming in, tuning in from One Bills Drive. Khalil, that's my guy, man. Listen, we have Josh Allen, Keon Coleman, and Khalil Shakir in the chat right now, folks. Love it. What's going on, boys? Hope all is well. Hope all is well. So here's the thing. I'm ready for whoever decides to come to Buffalo, right? And back to the Steelers situation as well. It's largely going to take if the Browns can go on ahead and pull off the upset of the century, right? Like, this Browns team is pretty stacked when it comes to, I'd say, like, on the defensive side of the ball. QB, absolute shit, right? It's absolutely disgusting. I don't see the Browns winning. If they do, I would be the happiest guy on the face of the planet. However, this Steelers team is going to play their starters if, for example, that this Browns team pulls off an absolute miracle. Because if somehow the Browns win, somehow, I'm not saying it's going to happen, I'm not predicting this, then the Steelers actually have something to play for, right? Either way, I think the Steelers team is planning and is at least prepping for this team to knock on out. Tuning in from One Bills Drive, Plague is saying Christian Benford got snubbed hard. Absolutely. We're going to talk about that. Go Bills from New England, since I have a game in a couple of days in New England. Hey, man, what's going on? Smash that like button like it's a punt returner that forgot to call a fair catch. Guys, if your holidays was not as expected, hope you all have a better New Year. 2025 is each and every single person in this chat's year. It's interesting how the Patriots have 1 Pro Bowler while the Jets and Finns have 0 Pro Bowlers. Also, I think the Bills should have gotten 4 Pro Bowlers. I'm going to tell you what, I think the Pro Bowl is like just for a bunch of like iPad kids, so to vote who their favorite player is. If you want to look at like players, and like we're going to go through each and every single Pro Bowler, like there's a couple of players on here that exclusively won because of their namesake, right? Like I would probably have to put Travis Kelce as like probably the perfect example as into why you don't look into the Pro Bowl too often, because this is all fan vote, right? Coaches vote, players vote, etc. It's mostly fan vote. Don't ever look at the Pro Bowl as something that we should be pounding our chests over. And it's funny too, because Josh Allen is QB1 in the Pro Bowl, right? You would think that I would be pounding my chest about that. It's all about fan voting. It's like who's the most popular. It's like who had the best performances on primetime, where a bunch of like casuals ended up watching them for the first time, like by itself, right? So I wouldn't flex the Pro Bowl. And I'm so glad that Josh Allen ended up getting QB1 of the Pro Bowl, because that way I don't sound biased. I still believe that to my core, that the Pro Bowl is a complete and utter joke. I'm visiting a friend in the hospital. He got hit by a truck. I'm so sorry to hear that, Joe Weather. I think you might be referring to what happened down in New Orleans, which is absolutely a travesty. You are the best. Dan Woodard, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Alexander, did you see Dalvin Cook's tweet about James Cook getting snubbed and also getting his bag? Do you reckon we re-sign him? Alexander, oh, man, we have a lot of conversation to have today, baby. And you know what? Like, y'all like must be reading my mind as into where I have these Buffalo Bills players that have been snubbed, and then also some other topics, because that just surprisingly happens to be a topic that we will be discussing a tad later. I am from Orchard Park, but I am in New England now. I mean, we have a game on Sunday. Long Island, go Bills. Sandman, what's going on? I was snubbed hard. Shakir, Dan, I would have taken James Cook instead of Joe Mixon. Papua New Guinea. Love that, man. What's up, T-Dobbs? No dummy wants them hands, Dan. No dummy wants these hands, but that dummy gets it each and every single time. Dan, you should put a Chiefs jersey under the referee jersey. I cannot spend my hard-earned money on anything Kansas City Chiefs. I've considered it, but I think the referees piss me off more than any other team that we play, right? I think that the refs piss me off the most. out of anything. So I think the referee jersey is good for now. It depends, of course, on who we end up playing. So within the wild card round and then the divisional and the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl, then maybe I'll go on ahead and I'll make some adjustments right to Bob's attire. The Dolphins have a better chance of making the playoffs than the Bengals. They certainly do. Benford is an all-pro, got snubbed for a Pro Bowl, just like Taryn last season when he was named all-pro. Pro Bowl is a popularity contest. Taylor Swift made sure Kelsey got the votes. H-Town in the house. Houston, what's going on? Let's talk about this. I agree. James Cook has been having a great season. He should have been picked. We need to get Allen at least one snap this game because we don't want to lose a starting streak. From what I understand, Cool Ducky, that is the plan. Go Browns, at least for this week. Need to get Baltimore on Kansas City's bracket. Dan, who taught the Swifties to vote for the Pro Bowl? You picked the Patriots over the Buffalo Bills. I did, because we're not going to be having any of our starters out here. I think those who got snubbed should be all-pro. All-pro is the true reward. All-pro is the true reward of who ends up getting that. We shall see. Steelers' offense is so bad, it's hard to see them beating Cincinnati. But see, here's the problem, because that's an oxymoron, because Cincinnati's defense is the worst in the history of the Cincinnati Bengals, and it's probably top 5 worst defenses in NFL history. It is terrible. It is really bad. Bad secondary. And let's not forget that the last time the Pittsburgh Steelers ended up playing the Cincinnati Bengals, Russell Wilson put up 45 points, right? So it really doesn't make a lot of sense. And on top of that, we also had a Pittsburgh Steelers defense that was injured largely during that game as well. So I'm not going to come out here and say that, oh my God, this Bengals team is going to go out and punch the Steelers in the mouth. They have a much more difficult road than, say, for example, the Miami Dolphins, right? Because when we're looking at our potential playoff matchups, it was just announced that Carson Wentz is going to be starting for the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Can the Denver Broncos defense give Bo Nix and that offense enough opportunities to beat the backups of the Kansas City Chiefs? I think that's likely. I also think that the Miami Dolphins can beat the New York Jets, because the Jets are just an absolute tire fire. And so when it looks at matchups of all 3 of our potential people, right? It goes, if the Broncos win, it's them. That's it. No other tiebreaker means anything. If the Broncos beat the Kansas City Chiefs, they ultimately end up winning, right? They play the Buffalo Bills during Wild Card Weekend. If, for example, that the Chiefs backups beat the Denver Broncos, which I think is going to be a far cry, I am not going to be betting my money on that at all. I think the Broncos beat the Chiefs backups. If not, then it's going to come down to the Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets and the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who do you think has a better chance of winning their game? The Dolphins against the sorry New York Jets, or the Cincinnati Bengals, who haven't beaten a team over 500 all season, and that same team put up 45 against their lowly defense just a couple of weeks ago? So, is what it is. If I'm rolling the dice right now, it's the Denver Broncos that are coming into Buffalo. No questions asked. How long do you think the starters play this weekend? Honestly, I really don't think a lot of starters are going to play at all. I think Josh Allen is going to run out there and play a series, perhaps. Maybe even a snap. Who knows? Because he really likes his streak of consecutive starting games. He even spoke about it yesterday, where he said he's not even close to breaking the record. However, he wants to continue to be out there because, as we say on this channel all the damn time, the greatest ability is availability. And that's something that I think Josh Allen really holds close. Let's hope Buffalo is too, that damn Bills guy. Patricia is coming in. Go Bills. What's up, Patricia? Hope all is well. Hope you enjoyed your holiday. A lot of impersonation accounts. Absolutely. TV and sleep. Kirby Joseph should have been a Pro Bowler. He leads the NFL in interceptions. DF Forever, no problem. Happy New Year to you and yours. Benford and Gonzalez should be all pro. I just want the Finns to start golfing early. Absolutely, man. Dude, book them damn flights to Cabo. And some people might say Cancun, but Cancun, come on, man. These are NFL players, bro. They ain't going to Cancun, all right? I like Cancun. I really do. But if all of us can afford Cancun, trust me, NFL players ain't going there. I think that we need to completely switch it up and say that these players are going to damn Bali. or like these guys are going to damn Dubai, or these dudes are going to the south of France or Greece, like one of the two. Like that's more of like like you got booted from the playoffs type shit. And so you know what I'm saying? Anyway, Michael Hall, the Browns won't win, but imagine if they did. I would probably bust immediately. What's up, my brother Dan? Terry Tate, hope all is well. Hope you were doing well. I have better typing. You picked the Patriots over the Bills. You have a long way to go, Jacob B. Here's my thing, dude. Very bad. That was absolutely atrocious. I have better typing. First off, makes no sense. I have gotten better typing. My typing has improved. You picked the Patriots over the Bills with an apostrophe. You ended up taking Bill and putting it in a possessive tone, like a dude named Bill. It's still an atrocity. It's still an atrocity. I am not reading one of your comments ever again until I see perfect grammar, Jacob B. Okay? How did Kelsey get voted in? Because it is a popularity contest, my friend. Benford deserves a Pro Bowl when he picked off Rodgers. It was beautiful. I think that's his first INT in the career. We have iPad kids. It is an iPad kid situation. I am so hurt. What a way not to start off the new year. Oregon Ducks did not show up in the damn Rose Bowl. We got our asses handed to us by Ohio State and the team we beat in the beginning of the year. It's an any given Saturday or a Wednesday, if you will. Bills have 2 Pro Bowlers. The Ravens league's most Pro Bowlers tell you who is the MVP. You're wrong, my boy. Lamar has the most votes. It's a telltale that he will be MVP. You're wrong, my boy. Lamar had the most votes. It's a telltale that he'll be the MVP. Tall tale. That is right. Ravens have the most Pro Bowlers, and the Buffalo Bills only had 2. I think that that's even one more sign that Josh Allen is the MVP of the league. The Pro Bowl has nothing to do with your team's record. It is an individual performance acknowledgement. We have Tyler H. Benford and Cook got snubbed for Pro Bowl, and you can make a case for Spencer Brown, but Benford should make All-Pro. But Brown and Cook probably won't get All-Pro, and it is a shame. We have Jordan Smith. Are you worried about Trubisky getting hurt, forcing Allen to play some? Yeah. I mean, listen, no. Actually, here's the deal. If Mitch Trubisky ends up getting hurt, then we literally pull like what the Broncos did a couple of years ago where they didn't have a quarterback, and we just have Ty Johnson. Like, maybe you elevate Frank Gore Jr. up, and he just takes direct snaps. Like, make our running backs take direct snaps if it comes down to it, if Mitchell Trubisky is out there. But guys, listen, like, we're just going to be handing the ball off like short passes. And the Patriots pass rush really isn't anything to be worried about at the end of the day. Z-Type is saying Bills have the most TDs called back due to penalties in the NFL. We absolutely do, and it's something that I would like to take a look at if possible. If possible, man. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. Yo, Swooty, can't remember the last time I cared about Pro Bowls. We're eyeing a three-peat brother in the Chiefs. Bills' entire offensive line should be nominated for the Pro Bowl. It's been one of the best units in the NFL, like no questions asked. Let me see. Mac Hollins, wide receiver 1 this week. Go Bills. Connor Hanks. Allen will put on the best Pro Bowl performance. Joe Weather, who on the Pats defense got snubbed? I got Gonzo. So Gonzo has been playing pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to put on the troll toll real fast. So like all these broke ass trolls who want to come in here and get attention are going to have to pay. All the brokey trolls are going to have to come in here and pay me to speak. Hey, Dan, your content has gotten me through the worst part of my life, right? And I'm now going through a separation. I want to wish you a happy new year and positive vibes. Eric, you have no idea how much that means to me. I genuinely love hearing things like that. Like, I do get DMs quite a bit about how just a random dude who sits here, screams into a microphone, and beats a dummy to an inch of his life each and every single live game reaction. And it's touching. It really, really is, man. I will keep you in my prayers. And one thing that I always like telling anybody that goes through a hard time is that you have gotten through every single hard time that you have ever had in your entire life. Like, you were batting 1,000. If there was a getting through hard time Hall of Fame, you would be in it. Things are going to get better. I am sincerely sorry about that. I wish you nothing but the best. I will keep you in my prayers. And dude, stay strong. And I'm glad that you're around here. And I promise you that I will keep you entertained. And hopefully the Buffalo Bills don't make me decapitate Bob by the end of the season. Eric, shout out to Eric, man. We love you over here, brother. We really, really do. We really, really do. Chiefs aren't three-peating. It will be Ravens, Bills winning the Super Bowl. Mod me so I can take care of the trolls, Dan. John Doe. Listen, man, I like the trolls. You want to know why? I like the trolls because it's part of my content. I love ripping apart trolls. It's one of my personal favorite things on the face of the planet. But like what I always tell people that enjoy my content, like what you need to do is if someone's like truly annoying you, just block them so you won't see them in the live chat. I'm not blocking them because those fools are paying me. Those fools are paying me, man. Look at that. Look at that. Speaking of King Troll, you are right. Allen will be Pro Bowler starter. The Super Bowl quarterback does not play in the Pro Bowl. Death taxes and Glenn being salty that his team fucking sucks, dude. Glenn. Cool Ducky. Dan, can I be a mod? That is up to my friend Dwayne, DF Forever. I have no control over who is a mod, who is not a mod. It is all up to Dwayne, all right? Because I've had people that I have had people in the past that have taken the responsibilities, and they have abused them, right? Like they go on ahead and they block people from the chat in general. Like I welcome trolls in here. Like I do. And like I've had mods in the past block other fans just because they weren't Bills fans. So unfortunately, all of my mods from now on are exclusively heavily vetted. So that way that I do not ruin my overall live chat community. So that's just going to have to be how it plays out. Dan, that's pretty awesome. You're all right. And that's from a Dolphins fan. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Maya, Dan, Josh Allen just joined. He did. Oh, okay. So like he's talking to the media right now is what you're talking about? Or he just joined the chat? Because we've already saw him in there. And so we already know that he's just that dude. All right, T. Dobbs is coming on in saying they need to sit Spencer Brown. Our offensive line starters have to be fully healthy. I really don't foresee our starting offensive line playing a lot, if anything. Mitch Trubisky is a B quarterback. I have no idea what that means. DF Forever, hook a brother up. JTL, man. Hey, man, listen, have to talk to DF Forever if you want to be a mod. It's heavily vetted, man. Listen, we have a lot of you guys that abuse your powers, and we can't do that. That's just basically how it goes. I know Bobby HG. He is my brother. Joe, no, Bob is now on the injury report, as in limited. No. Bob's a stud. All right, here, hold on. It's all right, Bob. I love those things. And so I get out here and have you already hitting a dummy. I know, Glenn. Glenn, I hope you enjoyed your holiday with your grandkids. Sincerely, man. Hope all is well. Greenlight Channel, how do you feel about letting Cook hit his 1,000 yards? Don't. No, bro. We need James Cook. All right, so I say we get to the main topic today. And the main topic is snubs from the NFL Pro Bowl. And certainly go on ahead and sound off in the chat if you think that you agree with me here. But first off, we have Josh Allen and we have Deion Dawkins that have been selected for the Pro Bowl games. I feel like a lot of you guys already know how I feel about the Pro Bowl. I think it is a giant joke. I think that it's just a bunch of iPad kids who they pick their favorite players that they play with on Madden. They pick players based off of performances from years in the past, 3 to 4 years ago, not genuinely on how they play this year. I think the Pro Bowl sucks, and I think it's a mockery of the NFL. I really do. And I'm glad that Josh Allen was QB1 for the Pro Bowl this year because it doesn't make me sound biased, right? I'm very glad that that was the case. And he's not going to play anyway because he'll be playing in New Orleans. All right, so we'll see how that plays out. However, well-deserved. Like with Josh Allen, like he's been absolutely insane so far this year. Like he not only ended up overcoming a narrative that the Buffalo Bills would finish in third place. We had no wide receivers. He ended up throwing a touchdown pass to, I think, 14 different players. He's one player away from breaking an all-time NFL record of throwing to 14 or 15 different players on an offense by itself, which would be absolutely insane. He is number one in EPA, so right across the NFL. He is leading offenses to an average of 3 points per drive, which has only been done 3 times within the past 20 years. One was with Tom Brady while he had Randy Moss. Next up was Aaron Rodgers when he had Devontae Adams. And then number 3 was Patrick Mahomes when he ended up having Tyreek Hill. Josh Allen ended up doing all of that with a carousel of, I would say, some underrated wide receivers, but certainly not the league's elite, if you will. Hopefully a lot of these guys develop into the league's elite as the road continues. But outside of that, impressive season. He sincerely deserves it. And the one thing that someone pointed out in the chat that I think is interesting, I'm going to use it as a TikTok later. The fact that we saw several Baltimore Ravens make the Pro Bowl and the Buffalo Bills only have 2 Pro Bowlers, I think that just goes to show you once again how these people who are ultimately going to be voting for MVP are going to decide, is based off of supporting casts, et cetera, et cetera. So we shall see. If they are not letting Barkley get the record, no one in the NFL should play to get a certain record. It's crazy to me about Saquon Barkley too, because he's not playing, right? And I want to know if that was something that Saquon signed off on, or if that was something that Sirianni was just like, nah, screw you, we're waiting for the playoffs. I think that's kind of bullshit. I mean, I get it. It's like sort of like a tightrope to walk. It's just like, yeah, like he can get the record, but like what if the second he cracks the record, he ends up destroying his ACL? And we no longer have literally our number one piece of this offense going into the playoffs. So it's a hard conversation to have. It's a very, very hard conversation to have, but is what it is. So next up, we have Deion Dawkins. And Deion Dawkins, man, let's go ahead and give this guy credit because he's been pissing us off, I'd say, a little bit. Like, he's been pissing us off for the past couple of years, but he has been playing elite at the left tackle position. He has been playing to a point where I think that he is one of the best left tackles in all of football. And that is a very difficult position to play. It is very hard to find a quality left tackle in the draft and free agency. When you find one of those, you hold on to them at all costs. They are your quarterback's blind side, unless, of course, that he is a lefty. So important. He's been great. Like, watching the film, man, his technique is at an absolute all elite level. No question that Deion Dawkins 110% deserved it. He has been playing phenomenally. But snubs, what's up next with the snubs, baby? I'm going to go ahead and pull up a couple that I think were, because we're going to look through some of these Pro Bowl guys real fast. Of course, react to them and then give you an idea of what players on the Buffalo Bills that I think should have had an opportunity of getting it done. And it starts off with the running backs, if you will. Right over here. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to share my screen so we have a nice little visual for you real fast. All right, perfect. Running backs for the AFC. We have Derrick Henry, we have Joe Mixon, and we have Jonathan Taylor. Now, let me tell you what. I'm fine with Derrick Henry because I think that he is the best running back in the AFC, bar none. Yet another great example as into why Lamar Jackson has had such a great year passing, because you have that threat right in the backfield. Look at that. Derrick Henry, first running back, all you can do. And then you have Joe Mixon, and then you have Jonathan Taylor. I'm not sure about you guys, but I think James Cook got snubbed from this. And again, it's nobody's fault in particular, because it is just a bunch of Lunchable eating, iPad kid, Fortnite dance, race car bunk bed kids that are voting for this in the first place, right? Like, these are the big names right here. Like, these are the big names when it comes into it. But if I were to replace anybody with James Cook, and let me know if I'm off on this, I would probably have to put James Cook in place of Joe Mixon. That's me. I would probably have to put Joe Mixon off of the list and replace him with James Cook. James Cook has 15 total touchdowns, ladies and gentlemen, 2 receiving, and 13 rushing. Absolutely insane. 900 yards on the ground. And whether or not that we want to say, hey, you know what? Running back performance is exclusively based off of how your offensive line is playing. One could make that argument. But when it comes down into it, nobody has been a more consistent piece to their team than James Cook. He's automatically had him over as far as the best ability is availability. So I am going to have to give James Cook in place of Joe Mixon. And let me know if you guys agree with me here. We have Cook is greater than Mixon. The rest is fair. Again, I'm fine with Jonathan Taylor. Like, dude had like 1,200 yards. He was their offense. Without them, they would not have been flirting with the playoffs as late into the season as they have. And then Derrick Henry, I mean, come on, dude. Like, what does he have? Like 1,700 yards? Of course. But Joe Mixon, and same thing with James Cook. They almost have identical yards, but James Cook actually has better yards per average on carry. So whether or not that you want to say that it has to do with the offensive line, I wouldn't be pissed off at you. But I think James Cook, without a doubt, was snubbed. And his brother Dalvin Cook feels the exact same way. He tweeted something a little earlier, and we can get it from there. But next up, there's one in particular that kind of upset me here. We're going to go... Where's my dudes? Where's my dudes at, bruh? Cornerbacks. I'm going to show you what we're taking a look at here. All right? Here we go. Cornerbacks. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you can guess who my second snub is. And I'm sure vast majority of you probably were able to guess my biggest snub based off of the thumbnails. All right? Christian Benford. It is Christian Benford right now. And I'm going to have to go. Like, I'm fine with Derek Stingley. He has been having an incredible season. Second-year player. He's elite. All right? Like, he is one of the best additions, I think, that the Houston Texans could have added to their defense. He deserves it, bar none. I'm fine with him being over Benford. I'm also fine with Patrick Surtain II being over Benford. This guy is perhaps in line to be Defensive Player of the Year. Surtain is going off. In fact, if I am a gambling man, I think it's going to be Patrick Surtain. Maybe it's Benito. Who knows? But give me Patrick Surtain. Rest be assured, Defensive Player of the Year will be wearing a Denver Broncos uniform. But this is where I get a little pissed off that I think Christian Benford should have been elected before Marlon Humphrey and then also Denzel Ward. Marlon Humphrey has had a season, and so has Denzel Ward. But hear me out. We are looking at exclusively sexy stats. And what are sexy stats, ladies and gentlemen? We're talking about interceptions. We're talking about pass breakups, et cetera, et cetera. But in my opinion, the one thing that I love about a corner, something that really gets me jazzed, and something that I think doesn't get enough like recognition, has to be preventing separation. And Christian Benford, for the vast majority of the season, has been top 5 in preventing separation. At one point, he was number 2. He was number 3. He has shut down some of the league's best wide receivers, almost to a point where he barely gets any targets because he does his job so effectively. I think preventing separation, in my opinion, just so happens to be the most important factor that you can find in a corner anywhere. I think Christian Benford is going to have a chip on his shoulder. No, I do not think that he's going to be an all-pro. I think that they're probably going to give it to Pat Surtain and Derek Stingley. But I am going to go on ahead and say that Christian Benford will have a chip on his shoulder next year. And while I did predict at the beginning of the season that Christian Benford was one of the best corners in football, I think that we can all agree that that is gaining traction. I think next year he truly will be an all-pro at the trajectory that he is going with his overall career so far. So if I'm pissed off about anybody that got snubbed from the Buffalo Bills, I'm going to have to go with number 1, James Cook, hell of a year, and number 2, Christian Benford. That's kind of where my thought process is. Let me know what everybody in here is thinking. Let's get these likes up, chat. We are slacking right now. Yeah, guys, 110%. Listen, we have 411 of you in here right now. We have 217. Yeah, we have 217 of you on YouTube. We have 193 of you on X. Damn, ladies and gentlemen. Some wild stuff. Some wild stuff right there. All right, listen, the best way to support me over here, guys, of course, if you want to go the extra mile, super chats are great, right? It helps fund the channel. It helps improve. For the past couple of months, I have been able to finally get some quality audio for you guys to listen to. I have a soundboard. I have a professional microphone. I got Bob. So everything that you donate over to this channel just gets pushed back right into this channel so I can continue to entertain you. But not necessary. That is you going the extra mile. Best way to support me. It's completely free. It takes less than a second, quite simply just by hitting that thumbs up sign. All right. If you're on your phone and like you see a live chat and you do not see the like button, simply just minimize the live chat temporarily and you'll see a like button. Helps me out a lot, propels it. And then number 3, tell some people, baby. Tell some people, ladies and gentlemen. If you know a lot of Bills fans or if you know some NFL fans that would like to troll somebody like me, let them know. Let them know about the Dan Mitchell YouTube channel because I'm live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST, 5:15 p.m. EST. And I do every single Buffalo Bills live game reaction with the exception of last week. It was the holidays. Give me a break. So let me know your thoughts. Subscribe, smash that like button, and make it happen. Seems like Jameis, the Raven Slayer, will be back. Oh, snap. Oh! Famous Jameis Winston is playing, is what you're telling me. If Benford doesn't get at least second team All-Pro, I am going to throw hands. Donate for Bob's medical bills. Donate for Bob's medical bills, man. Hey, brother, he's insured. He's insured. And if Pitts lose, F them. Marlon Humphrey is overrated. Craig is saying, Dan, do you have a sugar mama? No, a sugar mama. So you're trying to tell me that someone pays my bills? No one pays my bills, bro. No one pays my bills. Was Benford playing against us? I don't remember the plays he made against us. Yeah. He was. He was covering, I want to say Bateman, or somebody specifically. Josh Allen is not going to be a Pro Bowl. He's going to be in New Orleans facing Barkley and the Eagles February 9th. Dan, keep wigging TD and Richie out with those hunting stories. That was hilarious. Dan, keep wigging TD and Richie out with those hunting stories. That was hilarious. Listen, I am going to take Richie hunting when we go to the Senior Bowl in Alabama here in a couple of weeks. All right. I'm going to find a guided tour. I'm going to take that fool out and we are going to have a good time. If Drew Phillips was on any other team, he is a Pro Bowler. Cook got robbed. He did. BT. Josh Allen will not be at the Pro Bowl. Josh will be golfing. No, he will not be. He'll be playing in the damn Super Bowl, baby. That's what he's going to be doing. Go Bills. Allen will be facing the Lions on February 9th. I believe that was Benford's first interception of his career. Just one less for Sauce Gardner, my friend. What's up, my guy? Hope you had a great New Year, man. I had a wonderful New Year. Get this. Here's my New Year's resolution. This is insane. All right? This is insane. And I think you guys are probably about to not believe me, but I can't believe to prove you wrong. I can't wait to prove you wrong. I am actually not drinking anymore. Like, not just like sober January. I'm like not drinking anymore. I'm done. I'm done with it. Dan Mitchell is now sober. Dan Mitchell is now sober, ladies and gentlemen. All right. For the year 2025, F dry January 2025. Not a single ounce of booze is going to go down my gullet. And I know a lot of you guys probably just like, damn, Dan, like, why would you do that, bro? And so are you sucking D for like some, like some shots or something like that? Like, no, not at all. It's kind of getting to a point where like I've realized, number one, hangovers are terrible. Like done, like terrible. Like hangovers like last me, I would say about 3 or 4 days. It's bad. And then what hangovers ultimately do to me is that I get super lazy. Like I am not anywhere near as passionate about what I'm typically passionate about. And I have a business to build. I have to stream quite a bit. And there's so many goals that I have in my life that I reflect back on. And half of the reason why I don't think that I'm like where I want to be as far as like this business of like where I'm building and Roundtable and this, etc. There's no room for drinking. So I am done drinking forever. Ladies and gentlemen, New Year's resolution. Look at that. Now I'm just going to inject a bunch of TRT on my left ass cheek and be absolutely fucking jacked, bro. And don't even worry about it. We're going to be making it happen. BX1 is saying, I am still hungover. I absolutely love that too. Are you quitting gummies too? I'm going to be California sober for the rest of my life is what I'm telling you. Okay. All right. Give me a break, brother. Let me see. Prison Mike is saying, I quit drinking 6 years ago. It was the best decision I have ever made. Listen, man, I talked to quite a few people and they tell me the exact same thing where they say, you know what, dude, like your mind is just absolutely clear. And like what I really want to do is just ultimately end up focusing on my health, um, is my mental clarity, it's my business acumen, like everything. Like it it just doesn't do it for me anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I just have no interest in getting fucked up anymore. You know what I'm saying? Uh Good for you, Dan. You're funnier sober anyway. Thank you, Yumina. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Glenn is saying, don't worry, you will drink again when the Bills lose next weekend. Glenn is trying to say that I'm going to relapse because of the Buffalo Bills. I will not relapse. I promise you that. Terry Tate, brother, drinking makes Bills games and watching Josh Allen so much more fun. Oh my God. Everything in moderation. We have Mike coming on in. I'm not a drinker. I am cutting down on sodium and cholesterol and drinking more water. Matthew is saying, nobody likes a quitter. Matthew, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I promise, dude, listen, I would have to agree with Yamina that I feel that I am way more entertaining when I'm sober. I feel like I am. Like, I think I'm entertaining when I'm drunk. I'm not. Like, I stumble over my words. I forget what I'm going to say. I can't really pay attention exclusively. I promise you that I am going to be a hell of a lot. Like, my content, as far as my linguistics, as far as my jokes, are just going to absolutely skyrocket. I can promise you that. Dan, did you see Big Tizzle super chat? I did not. Let me see. Big Tizzle is coming on in. Stroud throwing 6 touchdowns to Nico on y'all bums. Love you, Dan. When is Stroud going to throw 6 touchdowns? All right. He's got to get past the wild card round, ladies and gentlemen. Dan, I am not a drinker and I work at a liquor store. What does that tell you? I love that. I love that. Listen, man, I have a lot of sobers in here, man. And I like that, dude. Listen, y'all are going to be able to help me out and then make it happen. Let's see this. Maddie comes in and says, nice job, Dan. I quit drinking 8 months ago. It changed my life. You got this. Absolutely. Like, listen, I have had, so many brutal hangovers that it's just not worth it to me anymore. And I appreciate the support, man. I love each and every single one of you. Next weekend, you will drink or dummy will be broke. I'm not talking about Bob. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Stroud ain't even thrown 6 touchdowns against a Gus Bradley defense. Bob is going to be thankful because he will get beat up less now that you quit drinking. I promise you, Bob is going to get multiple ass beatings. Last time you saw me hit Bob, I was dead sober. All right? Listen, I'm going to have to cope because when the Bills piss me off, typically what I did was just rip a bunch of fucking shots. Now what I do, I just beat the shit out of Bob. That's what I do, baby. We are not playing Houston. Dan, let's talk about the Matt Milano PFF score. I haven't even seen this, DFF. Haven't even seen this shit. It's pretty solid. Yo. All right. Sorry, for a second, something just went off. Before we bring that up, have to go on ahead and give a couple of plugs real fast. Giant shout out to our proud sponsors today. That is Picasso's Pizza, ladies and gentlemen. If you are hungry and if you have already caved on your New Year's resolution to start eating healthier and you just want to say, fuck it, 2026 is my year, go on ahead and get yourself some Picasso's Pizza. It is beautiful pizza, baby. Even if you are into the fitness world, each and every single one of you needs a cheat meal. And if you want a cheat meal and you're in Western New York, you have to grab yourself some Picasso's Pizza. 4 great locations in the Western New York area, and they are delivering nationwide. I don't give a shit if you were in Nebraska, Washington State, if you were in Papua New Guinea, if you were in damn Hawaii, they are mailing you pizza, all right? So go on ahead and hit that link in my description. Use code PARADE for 20% off. Shout out to Picasso's Pizza for sponsoring this show. And let me tell you what, guys, I may have quit my vice of drinking, but I haven't quit my vice of gambling, baby. Listen, once a degenerate, always a degenerate. I'm going to be locking in on some bets, especially for college football. Also, when it comes down into NFL. And I would be nowhere. I would be absolutely nowhere if it wasn't for Rhythm. Rhythm, hands down, #1 artificial intelligent assistant on the internet today. What it does is that it handpicks each and every single one of your player prop picks as you bring them in. Shout out to Rhythm for sponsoring this as well. They are giving you a 7-day free trial. All right, folks, there is a college football game tonight. Have the Sugar Bowl, which was rescheduled to about 4 p.m. EST, I want to say it's going to be. If you want to get your player props, might as well download a risk-free 7-day free trial of Rhythm and make some money. Make some money, man. Shout out to Rhythm for powering this episode. Anyway, player grades. Let's take a look. Linebacker. I'm going to have to see what my boy thinks about this linebacker situation. All right, Zach Braun. Show me where Matt Milano is. Is Matt Milano even on the damn first page? This is probably going to be bad. Hold up. Matt Milano. Talk to me. Where are you at, Matty? It's probably going to be terrible, isn't it? Let me see. Oh, my God. Has a 48 score, ladies and gentlemen. 48 overall. Pass rush, 75.5. Coverage is at 40.4. Run defense is at 56.6. So not a good start for our guy, Matt Milano, to begin with. A lot of you guys want him off of this team. The same people that when I said earlier in the season that I think Matt Milano might be a roster casualty this upcoming offseason, who knows what's happening with this. But damn, dude, listen, I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here and say that he's just cooking up. He's getting right. And I hope he proves us wrong in the playoffs, right? Like he's just knocking the rust off and he's going to be absolute lockdown coverage, run defense, the whole nine. So we're going to have to see what's up. Gio, it's funny how the Raven got 9 Pro Bowl selections and the Bills only got 2, but Allen has the same help as Lamar, right? Absolutely, Gio. And thank you so much for the $10 donation. I appreciate that. My friend. They snub us every year. No big deal. Kat's coming in. She's speaking that truth. And I will see. Cool Ducky is in the chat already. Great job on not drinking. Hangovers are the most worst thing right next to other AFC teams. Bills going to win the Super Bowl. Josh Allen, MVP. I think his cookie is burnt. Let me see what else. Dan, are you going to any playoff games? All right. I have been thinking about this. If the Buffalo Bills... Well, actually, let me rephrase. When the Buffalo Bills beats the Broncos and they are hosting the Baltimore Ravens during the divisional, I will be there. I am going to go to the divisional round because my team needs me. So my team needs the energy, and we're going to make that happen. So, yes, I plan on going to the divisional. If we end up going to the AFC Championship, I will be at the AFC Championship. And then me and the guys at Roundtable Sports, we were fortunate enough where we ended up getting credentials for the NFL. So we're going to be able to actually go to the Super Bowl regardless and be able to like interview players, celebrities that are going to be there. And like we're going to have like a whole Roundtable Sports setup. So I will be at the Super Bowl regardless of who is there. But as far as going up to Buffalo and following the Bills through their playoff journey, yes, I am sincerely considering a trip up for the divisional round. No promises, but I'm going to see what I can do. Let me see. Josh Allen is the Dolphins' daddy. Buffalo Wings. How many times the Bills have to beat the Dolphins' ass for Dolphins fans to understand we own y'all? Not enough, my friend. Love it. I grabbed tickets to the wild card round. I love it, man. Dan, AFC's Roundtable last night was talking about coming to Buffalo if it's Miami round 1 for us. Ugh. All right. Say that it's Miami, I would go to that too. Say that it's wild card weekend and it does turn out to be Miami. I think we could have an impromptu event. I feel like we could 1,010% have an impromptu event if that was the case. But, oh, shit. Dude, I need a haircut. It's bad. It's bad. I really need one. I'm starting to look homeless. I have the Ravens over the Bills in the playoffs. Kicks Dan, my man, been so busy. Hey, man, listen, I hope that you had a wonderful holiday season, my guy, and I'm glad that you're back. We have been wanting to tell you that our daughter won $500 from ESPN's Pigskin Pick'em contest for picking all Week 15 winners against the spread. Absolutely insane, Keith and Suzanne. That's awesome. Holy hell. Listen, well, you know what? I hope that she used that $500 to treat her wonderful parents to a nice night out. I sincerely hope that that was the case. Wild stuff, man. Against the spread is also something very impressive. Anybody can do just money lines, but against the spread, that's something crazy. That's something crazy. I have AFC East Championship, LMAO. Look at that. Look at that, man. It's the iPad kid. It's the iPad kid, all right? Dude doesn't even have pubes, and he's coming in here talking like a grown man, all right? Listen, little kid, one of these days, your team might make you happy. Your team might make you smile, all right? But not until Josh Allen retires. That's how it is, all right? Talk to me when you can grow chest hair, little boy. Talk to me when you can grow chest hair. I'm not taking anything that you say seriously ever again. Fins Fans 7. Man, if I was 9 years old, I would bully the hell out of you, bro. Oh, my God, bro. I would bully the ever-living shit out of you. Dan, how did you lose? Dan, how did you lose your laptop? Funny story. So I was up in Charleston, to see my parents for Christmas. And the airline, which is going to be named or remain unnamed, they just loaded my checked bag onto the wrong plane. So they lost my luggage. They put it on the wrong plane. And I was without my microphone, my soundboard, my computer, like thousands of dollars worth of equipment was gone, right? I'm pretty sure it ended up flying to like Nashville or something, which is pretty funny. But then ultimately I ended up getting it back that following day. They had it on the next flight over to Myrtle Beach. I was able to get it. And yeah, so that was it, my friend. That was it. Tua's getting a hip replacement and he's not even 30. Wait, really? Chat. Yo, chat, is that real? Chat, is that real? That is crazy. Let me see. Dan, thoughts on Minnesota getting the 1 seed Sunday night? Thinking Minnesota Buffalo Super Bowl. Think of all the stories. All right, listen, last time I said this because I have quite a few people that have joined my live chat community that are Lions fans. And I don't want to upset them because I like the Lions. I do. I really like the Lions, man. I want them to beat Minnesota on Sunday night. I want them to prove me wrong because I have a special place in my heart for the Detroit Lions. I really do. But I have Minnesota winning. Listen, man, like you just look, like we have had weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks waiting for all of the defensive injuries to catch up with Detroit, and they have, especially with what San Francisco was able to do against them. Was that the first time that San Francisco scored like more than 30, let alone 40 against the team? Absolutely nuts. Absolutely insane. Without Christian McCaffrey and with Ricky Pearsall as their number one wide receiver. I'm sure Ricky Pearsall has a bright future in the NFL, but come on, that's a rookie. Like, that's absolutely insane. Dude, I just think that the Vikings are going to come out on top on this one because I think the first game was decided by what, 3 points, if that. Like first game was 23-20, if I remember correctly, and so the Minnesota Vikings defense is just so good. It is so good, dude. Like they are also ball hawks when it comes into it. I've recently switched up my Super Bowl prediction, and I'm going with Vikings and Buffalo Bills. Like for a while I had the Lions, but like I just don't see their defense, like all of these defensive injuries from the Detroit Lions side of things are going to catch up to them. I think that we have seen proof that they have caught up to them. And I think the Vikings are ultimately going to get the first seed and the bye. But I do see the Lions seeing them again in the NFC Championship. So I see that happening again. But, I mean, what can you do? That, or I suppose within the divisional. Dan, Tua's hip replacement was due to a college injury, and it got replaced while in college. Got it. All right. So I thought that he had to get another hip replacement. Because I know that Snoop Huntley is starting again against the New York Jets. I don't know. I don't even know. We have 2 points. The Church of Great Players, but they don't know how to control them. No Eagles. I got the Vikings, bro. I got the Vikings. So that run defense is ill. Secondary, crazy. Sam Darnold's playing solid. Offensive line over in Minnesota is pretty solid, too. You know, like Aaron Jones is going off. Obviously, you have Jay Jettas. You know, you have Jordan Addison, who's a stud. You have a healthy TJ Hawkinson. Like, this Vikings team's making it the Super Bowl. Even if people were snubbed, this just proves that Josh Allen carries his team way more than Lamar does. Lamar also has Derrick Henry. Absolutely. My God. Eagles or Lions? So between the two? So I'd still take the Lions over them. So without Allen, I hate to say it, but we would be a 3-win team. Already said it. He went into Detroit and had an MVP game and was playing backyard football and played clutch against Kansas City. We have D-Jax coming in. Hey, Dan, when did you become a Bills fan? I always thought you lived in Buffalo. That's awesome. You don't live there and you're a fan. And out of all the teams, you picked the Bills. Evan, awesome. D-Jax. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not that cool of a story. But I was born in Buffalo. I was born in Mercy Hospital in South Buffalo, bruh. I lived on Crystal Street for a tad. And then my family moved me to the village of Hamburg, all right, where I ultimately ended up going to elementary school and also middle school down there. I lived in the village, but I went to frontier school systems because my mom worked like in the town of Hamburg. So she just ended up driving me. So I ended up going to Cloverbank Elementary School. And then I went to Frontier Middle School until I was in 8th grade. And then one day, my family decided that they didn't want to shovel driveways anymore. And they moved me down to Charleston, South Carolina, where I spent the rest of my middle school and high school career. And then I ultimately ended up going to school in South Carolina. I went to law school in Charlotte. And then now I'm in Florida. But I have always been a Bills fan. I have been a Bills fan since I was a child. I have continued to be a Bills fan, but it's home roots, baby. I'm from Buffalo originally, but moved down south, bro. And yes, I live in Florida. Yes, I know I'm pasty as hell. I will never be tan in my life. I have accepted it. D-Jax is saying, Kenmore Mercy. Look at that, dude. Mercy Hospital, baby. Damn. If the Bills flop in the playoffs again, will you go back to being a Jets fan? I was never a Jets fan. Hot take, Kincaid goes absolutely crazy during the playoffs. Awesome story. Look at that. Johnny Tran. Dan and Bills Mafia, are you guys furious that our players didn't get Pro Bowls? No, because largely, man, I've never respected the Pro Bowl in the first place. Because like I said, it's just a bunch of children voting, like on their phones, like people that like really, yeah, no. I have never celebrated a Pro Bowl in my life. You were in Florida. Where in Florida? I am from the east side, but now in Kissimmee live. I am in Destin, Florida. Are you familiar? Destin, Florida, the Panhandle, baby. It's basically Southern Alabama is what I like to tell people. But yeah, man, most definitely. I am in Destin. We have Blair saying, I live in Pennsylvania and hate the Steelers, so I became a Bills fan because they were closest to me and didn't like Cleveland either. Go Bills. Season Beast, born and raised in Tennessee and been a Bills fan for 34 years. I love to hear that. I was born in Kenmore Mercy also. Look at that. Look at that, man. A lot of people in here born in Mercy Hospital, man. Look at that. Oh. Check the super chats. My bad. Thank you for everybody that came in. I think I have them all, except for from Summer. Hey, Summer. Congrats on the drinking milestone. Proud of you. I am a little late. No problem. Listen, man, I've been getting a lot of support from everybody that's saying that I put down the booze. Damn. Love that. Love that, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Tyler H. Dan, I think Rousseau got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. He quietly had a good year, and it won't be recognized. I mean, yeah, dude, listen, it's going to be interesting, right? Like, he has how many sacks? Let me double check on this dude. And so I want to double check on this fool and see how he's doing. Let me see. Gregory Rousseau, 2024 stats. I'm curious. I'm curious to see what the homie has so far. He has 8 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 36 solo tackles. Solid season. Solid season. If you were to ask me, what did you like about Charleston, South Carolina? Dude, it is it's beautiful down there, man. It's beautiful down there. I love Charleston because, like, in my opinion, like, I always described it as the Boston of the South, right? Like, you have like the downtown area, like have like the nice old school cobblestone roads, great restaurant scene. You have the beach right across the street. It's awesome. I love Charleston. It was really, really cool, man. If I could ever get back there, I would. But a solid place. If anybody is looking for like a new start and like wants to move somewhere else, if like you're a young professional or if you have the ability to work remotely, Charleston is dope. Charleston is absolutely dope. Number 1 need position for the team. I want a corner. Sack leaders are at 14 sacks. Greg is not close enough. Dan, I can't medically drink alcohol, so I just drink NA and mocktails. It tastes just the same, people say. Look at that. Party town. Look at that. Dan, have you mentioned Chris Carter and Tracy McGrady, part owners of the Buffalo Bills? Dude, no, I haven't. Absolutely insane, though. Van Noy has more sacks than that bum. D-Jax became a YouTube member. Ravens Life 716. I looked you up on Facebook, bro. And like, you look like that guy that would like sell weed, but it was actually oregano. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look like that dude that like would hit you up and just be like, yo, bro, I got that fire, dude. I got that fire, dude. And like, you like charge us like $60 and we get back and it's absolute mid. Stems. Nah, I'm just kidding, bro. I did not look you up on Facebook, but I guarantee you that's the kind of guy you were. Hey, Dan, it's me, Josh Allen. I hope that they still do the arm strength game in the game of the Pro Bowl, because if that's the case, I'm joining the Pro Bowl instantly. Welcome, D-Jax. How you doing? D-Jax just came in. Last build bender. Just rolled in. Go Bills. How do you become a member here? Just hit the join button. Just hit the join button, man. That's all you have to do. Allen is not going to play in the Pro Bowl. No, he's not, because he's going to be playing in the Super Bowl, baby. We already got that. Like and share and subscribe. You won't grow one if you don't. Absolutely. If you are currently watching and you are not subscribed, studies show that your wiener shrinks an inch each and every single hour until you do. A lot of you only have about 30 minutes. So if you haven't subscribed, go on ahead and knock it out. And you actually grow an inch the second that you do. So subscribe to the channel. Make it happen. Let's make it work. Mahomes playing in the Pro Bowl. Allen MVP. And so Ravens Life like that. And so he liked that, bro. He liked that. He's my boy. He's my boy. He knows it. And so we just talk shit about football. That's all it is. Yeah. He knows he's my boy. Bob has no arms. He doesn't. I ripped him off. Now that's some funny shit, Dan. See, I told you. I'm a lot funnier when I'm sober. I subscribe because I don't want to risk. Josh is going to do the Pro-Am tournament in Pebble if Bills don't make the Super Bowl anyway. Yeah, most definitely. He wouldn't go. An inch in the dummy. Dolphins 0 Pro Bowls. Bum plays. Craig is saying inch in diameter. An inch in diameter, actually. It's all about the girth. It's all about the girth. All right? 205 of you on YouTube, 258 of you on X. Man, what a damn day. An inch in diameter, man. We're going to have to knock it out. All right, guys, listen. I love each and every single one of you. I appreciate you for tuning in to another edition of Don Mafia Live. And Dan got Chewbacca on his head. Bro, I know, man. I am in desperate need of a fade. In fact, I think I actually got to see if I can get up with my barber here in a little bit. Yeah, we're going to have to see. Bob looks happy today. Fuck no, dude. Hell no, dude. No happiness in here, bro. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be live on BetUS TV's The Huddle at 3 p.m. EST. And I will also be live on this channel again at 5:15 p.m. EST. Regular schedule's back in action, dog. We have a lot to talk about. Love y'all. See you soon. Peace.